So here we are in Enterprise Manager Fusion Middleware Control looking at the flight service SOA composite. And this flight service exposes a flight service binding, which we drill down into right now. When we look at the policies tab for this flight service web service binding, we'll see a custom policy. That's one I've created. And this policy is configured to report every service execution to a JMS topic, as we can see here. And for each operation that gets invoked, a number of business attributes are reported from elements in the request message. That's configured in the operations map property. So we're going to go into Stream Explorer, and we will be using the service execution reports that are published to the JMS topic to derive meaning from. So we'll create a stream that's based on the JMS topic. And we configured right here. It has the service execution reports and it's of type JMS. We next configure the JMS source using the URL, username, password and the JNDI name of the JMS topic. And next we will create the data shape. And the data shape corresponds with the map message that's being published to the JMS topic. Data shape is called service execution report and it has properties for all the elements in the message map. So here we have service operation, the ECID, the stage, request or response, the business attribute 1, 2 and 3, and these are the properties that map to the business data elements extracted from the request message. Let's create a stream. Let's create our first exploration, extremely simple one without any summaries, aggregations, filters whatsoever. And in this summary, exploration, we'll simply report all the service composite executions. So invoke the flight service and invoke a temperature conversion service a couple of times, and then invoke another operation on the flight service, in this case the operation that requests the details for a flight. And all these service invocations have resulted in service executions and they are all reported in our exploration. So here you can see them listed, the service, the operation, the ECID value and the business attributes that represent, for example, the temperature or the airline carrier, flight number and the date of the flight. And we will build on this and now create our own exploration that will look only to calls to the flight service to actually update the status of a flight. And we need this, of course, and it's based on the same source, the same stream. We need this to find all the flights that stay at the gate for too long. So we'll filter on the service, the flight service, and we also filter on the operation. It's only the operation that updates the status of the flight. And then we'll also filter on the stage. So we only need the request messages. We're not interested in the response messages. And from the request message, we take the carrier, the flight number, and the status that has been assigned. So that's either open or closed. That completes our exploration. We'll publish the exploration, and on top of this exploration, we'll create the next one. And this next exploration leverages the pattern detect missing events. We look at events that update the status of a flight, and those are taken from the flight status update reports exploration. We look at business attributes 1, 2 and 3. We need those to partition by flight and by status. And we are looking for an event to appear after 30 seconds. So that's why we set the heartbeat interval at 30 seconds. We also configure a target, so any result from our exploration is sent to a CSV file. Normally that would be an EDN event or a JMS target, but in this case we use a CSV file for the simplicity of this particular demo. We finish the exploration and publish the exploration, but it doesn't do exactly what we need. So we're going to export the exploration to the file system and then open it in JDeveloper to fine-tune it as an OEP application. So here we are in the export dialog. We export it as a jar file. The jar file is saved to the file system, and now we go to JDeveloper. In JDeveloper, we'll import this jar file and from it create a new project. So we select the OEP bundle into a new project. Next, This will create our new project. And next we'll select the jar file from the file system. And this jar file contains the Stream Explorer exploration, which corresponds to an OAP application. And this application is now imported as a project into JDeveloper. And here we see what we have crafted in Stream Explorer. There's a JMS inbound adapter that reads from the JMS topic. There are two processors which contain SQL statements, CQL statements to filter events and to detect the missing event. And finally, we have the CSV outbound adapter. Let's open the config file with first the CQL statement that filters on service operation and stage. That's the first exploration we created in Stream Explorer. And now we look at this, the second processor, which contains the CQL statement with the missing event detection pattern. We're going to replace a little bit of this CQL statement. And here is the replacement. We look for a pattern that's defined as open and not closed, where open is an event with the business attribute 3 set to open, and not closed is any event which does not have a business attribute property set to closed. We include timer events every 30 seconds, and these events take the place of status update events for the flight if they don't occur within 30 seconds. So if the closed event for this flight does not appear in 30 seconds, we'll have a timer event, and that of course does not set the status to closed. We need to create a new deployment profile. Here we create the profile, it's a default profile, and using this default deployment profile, we will deploy our OAP application to the OAP server. Now it's available, and the CSV file is created already, and currently it's empty because no flights have been reported as lacking their closed status event. We now go to SOAP UI, and we will send messages to open a set status for 4 flights to open. So there we go, 4 flights. Next we will close a number of these flights, but one of them will not be closed, and you can probably spot the one that's not going to be closed. The question is, will OAP spot a flight that's not closed? Because that's our challenge in this demo. 3 flights have been closed, 4 were opened, 1 should be reported before too long in our CSV file. So let's look over there, it has been changed. And when the file is refreshed, we can see that OAP wrote flight KL34 to this file because this flight was opened, but the status update message to closed was never received. So the missing event was detected and reported by OAP to the CSV file. We've achieved our challenge.